right, next we have Belwith Keeler. We have Knikki Grantham, Trend Manager, Belwith Keeler. Welcome, Knikki. All right.
Hello, hello, hello. So I've got a little bit different mic, so I'm a little high maintenance. Again, I'm Knikki Grantham. I am the style director with Belwith Keeler, and we are a decorative hardware company. We have been designing decorative hardware since 1893. And one of my responsibilities is to do trend forecasting. So what I like to do is usually start with the runway because there's such a close correlation between what happens on the runway to how that comes into the home sector. And because we've been designing hardware for the furniture industry, we get a peek behind the curtain, if you will, to see what they're developing for launch, which will then be coming down the pipe in the kitchen and bath. So about 2019, 2020, one of the things I started seeing on the runway, it wasn't a particular trend that you could pinpoint. It wasn't a palette or a particular shape. It was this overarching speech of how you want to just proclaim your personality. So I called it proclamation. So it was a little bit of a mix of different types of materials or textures or little, prints that kind of worked together, but it proclaimed who you were and what your style was. I then saw it coming into the furniture industry in some treatments that were unusual. We didn't usually see some of these things put together, and they became focal points, and people wanted to take that proclamation into their home and say, this is my style, this is who I am. As I saw it coming into the kitchen and bath, it came in a different way. It came in different things being built into the kitchen and bath that were more furniture oriented. So you had bigger pantries that had door treatments that then became a focal point that used to be an afterthought. Now they wanted to have some kind of a jewelry or an accessory. So we noticed the need for the hardware scale to change, the shape, the focal of that hardware to change. About that same time, I was doing a collaboration with Hickory White in North Carolina, and their designer pulled out a sketch of a piece of furniture, and it had an X pull on it. And he was like, we're wanting to develop something like that. And I said, it's been developed. It was developed in 1953. And I whipped out my 1953 catalog, because who doesn't carry around a 1953 catalog? And I showed him the Paul Frankel that we originally did for Saltman Brown Furniture in the 1960s. It's now on a Hickory White collection that they launched in October 2021. And what our designers did was gave it a little bit more of an organic shape, and we fitted it so that it's a little bit more functional in today's market. That gave birth to the Bijou collection. As other companies started jumping into this jewelry trend, all we had to do was go look in our archives of over 300,000 masters and pull out items over the past 50 years that we felt accommodated this market. So we have ring pulls, we have campaign plates. There's 11 families within that collection, and they're available in 3 finishes: matte black, satin nickel, and brushed gold and brass. So come see us at the West Hall 872. Touch them, feel them. There's a couple that are in brass and substrate, and then you can kind of get an idea of what these jewelry pieces can do for your design.
Thank you, Knikki. Do you have any questions? Questions? So you pull your design catalog from mid-century modern, the pulls that existed before?
Yes, there's 3 actually on the website for the Smithsonian, a 1922, a 1928, and a 1953. So I happen to carry those around with me for some odd reason, because I think it's cyclical. So all great design is just going to come back around. Hence, someone like Hickory White deciding to relaunch something that we did in 1953.
That's awesome. They look great. Any other questions? Oh, got one back here. Thanks for waiting for the mic.
So how have you updated them? Are they mostly just new, not just, they're beautiful, but new finishes?
We did put them in more, I would say, more finishes that are going to be spec'd out now, but things like stoppers that they didn't need back in the day, like they wouldn't put a stopper. So the Sybil pull, which was fashioned after David Yurman's bracelet, it actually has a stop so that it doesn't bang the case good. That we put feet on the Bijou X so that once you place it in the position of the end use, there's no twisting. It's not going to scar your case.
Great. Any other questions? All right. Thank you, Nikki.
Thank you, guys.